Hi. Hi.
My name is Paul Rogers, and I'm from OHMS Radio, Ohio Music Scene, the only all Ohio internet radio station in the world. How are
Oh,
you today?
what a thrill. Okay. Well, okay. Good. I guess that's everybody's got to have his distinguishing characteristic. I guess that's good enough.
We've been putting together bits and pieces of the Ohio local music scene and playing a lot of music on our channel. And we are excited to talk to you because you're one of the great pioneers of the Cleveland music scene, in our opinion.
Okay. Well, good. Good.
How have you?
I'm ready. I'm ready when you are.
Well, one of the first things I wanted to talk about was how you've been doing lately, keeping yourself busy through this pandemic of ours.
Well, I've been very busy. I've been remixing some albums for a next box set, and we've been very involved with DPK TV, which is our live streaming TV show. And I think it's 3 times a month now. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Um, we have a week off one time during the month, so that's. I've been very busy. You know, the rules are all changed, and it's not likely. I mean, the pandemic may go away, but there's been some certain things that have happened in the business that are permanent. Well, not permanent. Nothing's permanent, but everybody's been dumping all of the organizations and businesses and governments. They've been all of them to a man dumping down on the musicians, and all the promoters they get tons of money from the government, and venues get tons of money, and it's like the French going into World War II. They're fighting the last battle, the last war, and totally ignored the changes. Well, the thing is, musicians don't need promoters anymore. Musicians don't need venues anymore. Musicians don't need governments and PRS societies and all this sort of stuff, because the rules have changed, the technology has changed, the market has changed, and you know, but nonetheless, through the pandemic, everybody's dumping down on the musicians. Everybody, including all of the organizations that were set up to preserve the musician. So I don't know. It's getting to be back like in the 50s. Record company guys would go around with a bunch of records in their trunk of their car and go from station to station and whatever to whatever. Um, that's not the model now, but it's a lot closer to the model than it has than what's been is close, if you get me.
Yeah. How has the pandemic been affecting you personally? I hear you have some health issues that you're trying to deal
Yeah,
with.
I've had some health issues I've had some health issues for some years now, and they'll continue to the day I die. But so I'm on a highly restricted lockdown. I haven't been out of my house except to go to the hospital for the last year and a half or a year. So when they talk about a lockdown, I'm locked down. But things change, things move on, whatever. Nothing's permanent.
You've been remastering several of your earlier works.
Oh, I've been remixing. Yeah. Well, I'm just finishing up the mix on the albums that are going into the next box set, and which are I can't remember the details. I've been remixing Lady from Shanghai, Why I Hate Women, and Long Live Pere Ubu. I probably will be done by that Monday or something, or today. I don't know. Soon, you know.
Could you maybe going back to the beginning? I know there's a lot of people that have talked about your roots, but what I was wondering more was what was the condition of Cleveland when Pere Ubu started, as far as the Cleveland music scene?
Well, I don't know exactly what you're looking for. There, the music scene was predominated by the clubs and the cover bands, and it was a big business. Cleveland was an extremely important market back in those days. Cleveland is solely responsible for breaking David Bowie in America, Roxy Music in America, Mark Bolan in America. I mean, there's a bunch of people from back then. And Cleveland was the scene that if you made it in Cleveland, then you were going to make it, And so all the record companies had significant people working out of the market. But in terms of the local music scene, it was the cover bands and huge club scene, and if you weren't a cover band, there wasn't very much opportunity for you. So you'd look around for a club that would be impressed with getting 50 people on a Tuesday night. And so we found this old funky bar down on Old River Road. It was John D. Rockefeller's original warehouse. Started his empire, and a place called the Pirates Cove, and it was sort of a desolate haunt of crews off the lake freighters. And we convinced the guy to give us a shot, and he put us on Tuesday night, and we got maybe 50 people, and he was deeply impressed. He promoted us to Thursday nights, which still wasn't the weekend, but that's the way it was. I mean, if you were in which you would, I guess you might call the underground at that time, you had to find places to play.
And what do you think, in your opinion, would have stopped Cleveland from being the musical hub? I noticed they don't get recognition from the rest of the United States.
Well, things change. Everything changes. Markets change. Um, Everything is in a state of flux, all the time. There aren't, it's like, it's too many people are trying to fight the last war. It doesn't work that way anymore. It never did. Uh, Maginot Line, for example. So I don't know. I haven't followed it all that closely. Just stuff changes.
Okay. Do you miss the weather over here?
Do I notice it? Yeah, I notice it.
Do you miss it?
Oh, do I miss it? Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't think in terms of missing something. I'm where I am, and I do what I do, and I don't miss things. I'm afraid. I'm sorry to say. They're just
Well,
gone. That's what happens in the world. Things are gone. Everything. As I said, for the fourth or fifth time, everything changes.
sure. And well, how much different do you think things are today for bands starting, opposed to how it was back then?
Well, how is it? I don't know. It's I mean, back then it's not some golden age. I have to tell you. I don't. You know, we had as many complaints about the music scene then as people have now about the music scene now. Everything is different, but but in the end, it comes down to sorting it out, solving your problems, sorting the problems out. Don't don't rely on governments or agencies or record companies or anything else to deal with it. You've got a set of problems, and you got to work the problems and come up with, and the solutions that we had 40 or 50 years ago are not necessarily going to work now. The marketplace is much more of a global market, and it's all involved in the hideous nature of social media, and 100. I don't have to go through the whole thing. You know the situation. Um, so work the problem.
One of the things that I did want to ask you about was we found a tape. We found a tape from Jim Jones's personal cassettes, and it's just said David Thomas Variations on a Theme.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to know if you remembered this and whatever became of the project.
That was one of my solo albums that Jim worked with me on a lot. I don't know. I don't know what the tape is. If it's called Variations on a Theme, it's probably um, some sort of tape from that time. I don't know. I've produced thousands of tapes and records, and I've recorded over 300 something songs. I've done, I can't remember a quarter, an eighth of 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 the stuff I've done. Most people have a career that lasts for 5 years, and if you're really good and lucky, 8 years. Well, I've been doing this for 40 years, so I there's a ton of stuff in my background. I don't know.
There is. Would you say that there's a ton of stuff that never really even made it out to the public? And is there plans to?
I don't. It's made it out to the public in some nature. Now maybe it was 25 people and a dog in a northern Danish town or something, but it's made it out to a certain number of people. There's, I don't work on a lot of stuff that doesn't get. If I do any recording, I mean for it to come out. I don't just record for the hell of it. I record when I have to make an album and when I'm going to get paid, and and I deliver the goods. I don't just sit around and doing it for fun. No, this is not fun for me. This is my job. This is my profession. I don't like it. I don't like singing. I hate singing. And I don't like writing songs. I hate writing songs. I can't stand it. It's too much work. It's too hard. It's too painful. So I don't sit in the bathtub and sing songs to myself, for the joy of it. I find no joy in singing, and making songs. It's just what I do, you know. I know this is bitterly disappointing to hear for lots of people that, I don't live for the thrill and joy of bringing joy to other people, with my singing, what bullshit, I sing because I have to. How about that for a reason?
I love that. Um, your new thing that you have going on Pantheon right now, I was looking at. There's going to be a lot of things available to people, so they're able to find out more about Pere Ubu and your solo projects.
Yeah, well, there's always stuff coming out. Yeah, in the DPK TV live streaming show, we do. We generate a lot of stuff for that. We're still working on working out a way to do live performance over the air. I'm for a year at least now, I've been really unsatisfied with what most of it is, which is a guy with his acoustic guitar or something sitting in front of his computers doing songs from his living room. I find I don't have any interest in that at all, so it's the problem we're slowly working through and towards is some sort of live performance over live stream, but not on the nature of, well, here we are, we're going to sing you a song, sort of thing. And mainly we've been held back because I'm in, a serious lockdown. Everybody I know is very worried about getting the disease or passing it on to somebody else like me, so Um, Things have been pretty restricted, but we'll work it out. Oh, yeah, and the other thing that we do through the DPK thing is a series of Ubu bootlegs, of our own bootlegs. You asked me, I saying I've got thousands of tapes back in the back room. Kiersty's been working through them and finding things that, I did that, oh yeah, I did this show with Dave and Don Was in London for one night, and Loudon Wainwright was in the band, and Carl Wallinger and Guy Chambers, the guy that wrote all of Robbie Williams' big hit songs. We had this band for one night, and so she finds stuff like that, and we, for the the collector's room tier of DPK, we distribute a few of those a month. I can't remember. Kiersty's in charge of it. I just fix the things and that sort of stuff.
Is it fun for you going back through the old photo album and all the old music?
No, it's not fun. It's a lot of work, but I would much rather just sort of sit around by the pool if I had a pool. I don't like working. I really just don't like it. But somebody's got to do it, so that's what I do. I just, I used to kind of go along with this whole journalistic mythos about how, I love to do my music and, blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. I hate to do it. I don't, I have to. That's the only excuse. Some people have to go work in the steel mill, and some people have to go work at Kmart and in this thing and that thing. Well, I got to go do this, and gee, I would much rather be working in an office supply super staples. My dream job is to work in Staples and say, oh, can I help you, sir? Oh, we have these very nice pens and pads for making, and stuff. That's what I want to do.
I just wanted to let you know that you've been a hero of mine for a long time in the music scene. I think of you as one of the pioneers of the Cleveland music scene.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
I was wondering if you might have any Cleveland area bands or people that you had looked up to.
Well, the Numbers band was always the number one band, they're no, I haven't looked up to anybody else but them. No, I mean, they're really, I like the Raspberries. I don't know that I would ever look up to them. I like James Gang, but I don't think I'd ever look up to them. But the Numbers band, 15, 60, 75, definitely admire them. I think that's about it. There's been a lot of bands I like, but the Mirrors and Electric Eels, of course, from my era, but looking up to, no. Except for the Kid Brothers. Huh?
Excuse me?
Go ahead.
I was just, you enjoy playing with some of those bands like the Eels and the Mirrors?
Did I enjoy it? I don't think we only, I'm trying to remember. I think there was only one time that all three bands played together, and it wasn't even Pere Ubu. It was Rocket from the Tombs, the Mirrors, and Electric Eels, and that was one night that we all played together. And I don't think that any two of us ever got together again after that. I don't know. There was the rivalries, not so much from us, but from the others, were very intense, and nobody wanted to go open for anybody else. So I'm trying to, I'm trying to remember, and I only think it was that one time.
What kind of things would you tell the bands out there right now that are trying to make a difference out there, or trying to get going?
Give up, quit,
Give up.
quit before you get ahead. I don't, figure it out for yourself. There aren't any, like, there's no point asking me, because, I'm relatively safe and secure with my, my career, and I've got my own teeny little niche of the world market, enough to support me, and nothing I did is relevant to anybody else, other than the fact that, we had a set of problems to deal with, and we tried to solve those problems the best way we could, and that's all you can do.
That's awesome. Oh, well, let me see here. What do you think of the idea of an all Ohio radio station that plays the local bands from yesterday and today?
Well, I guess it's nice for the local bands. You know, I, what do you, I mean, yeah, good. I don't know. I mean, uh, I, it's good. It's like an all Yugoslav radio station, or an all Austrian, or whatever. These are all good, nice things. I'm sorry, I can't tell you, oh, oh, this is the greatest thing in the world. Well, no, it's just another, it's like, Austrian or something, or Yugoslavian or something. And it's like, okay, well, that's cool. That's cool. It's a good thing you got your own thing together,
What, what,
I'm sorry. I should learn to just go ahead and bullshit you, but
no, I love your truth. I love your truth.
well done for you guys. Go ahead, go for it. Why
What
not?
is coming up for Pere Ubu in the future?
Well, another album. It used to be another album, another tour, and then slumped down in the corner for a couple months. But now it's another album, and probably not. I don't know if we're gonna. I don't know if we'll tour again. There's no point trying to predict the future. Um, but no, we're about to. I'm about to. We're about to start on the next album. I've just been hesitating telling everybody about what it's going to be, because they're going to be a bit shocked at what the idea is. But no, that's got to start within a week or so, in a week or 2 weeks, something like that, and we'll have to sort out how we're going to do it, given the lockdown conditions. But we'll get that underway. It's going to get underway pretty soon.
David, I would really like to thank you for taking the opportunity and giving me the opportunity to speak with you today. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem. Good luck with your thing.
Thank you so much.